Hello and welcome back to the railway. Today we're going to have a look at the car transporter, model number R.342. This was available from 1965 in the Triangle Railways period, right through to 1974 in the Hornby Railways period. So I'll just have a swift look at that in the box there. Triangle Hornby box. We can see we've got some damage on the end there, but we've got a price here, look. 16 and 6. Scott Sports. Great to have the original prices still on the box. And we can see I've got the cars, they're blue tacked onto the wagon there just to stop them moving around. You can see there's a variety of Minix cars there, and they're the earlier ones with the chrome type wheels. I have another one we can have a look at that hasn't had the cars blue tacked on yet. So we'll just have a look at the box, and this one clearly comes from the Hornby Railways period. You can see it retains the same model number. R.342 car transporter, and this time that's a sticky label onto the box. And again we've got a price tag here, £1.25, the model shop, Newcastle, and then there's a very old telephone number there. So we'll just pop that down. We'll just have a look at the wagon itself. It's very light. It really is quite nicely detailed. If we have a look at the underneath there, we've got the Triangle's name and the model number R.342, made in England. I like this detailing moulded into the base, it's quite a nice touch. We've got pinpoint axles with quite small plastic wheels and the old triangle D-shaped coupling there. We've got fairly minimal detail on the end there. We've got buffers moulded into the main part of the body, and we've got what might be a hook here. Somebody could let me know what that is. And we've got the ramp, the all-important ramp. This one seems to have suffered some damage. It lifts up, folds down. That will enable the deck to be loaded. And you could drive the vehicle from one wagon to another, I think. So we could take on the vehicle on here and onto this part of the wagon. And then that could be lowered to enable the upper part to be loaded. It's quite stiff. Remember, this is a toy that was designed pre-1965, so it's rather good. And we've got some printing here. It says no hump shunting. We've got a ladder on the side. It is quite minimal, but good overall effect. Let's have a quick look at the other side. There we go, we seem to have an additional rail running along here on this side. And again, no hump shunting. So these ramps do come out by themselves when you tip it up. I think they break quite easily. The wagons came with 6 assorted Minix cars. If we have a look at them here, we can see they're slightly different. We've got black wheels on this one. This is a later one from after 1972 from what I read. I think the machine which did the chroming effect on the wheels and the chassis broke. So the ones with chrome wheels are from pre-72, I think. There's a variety of colours and models available. From what I've read, these Minix cars were first available in 1964. They were developed by Rovex as a standalone range of toys, and they were quickly absorbed into the model railway range. Now we're going to get this high mech, which is model R758, back into the sidings, along with the chocolate and cream coaches here. Now in this livery, she was only available in 1967. And we've just opened number 11 and number 12 there, and we'll take them gently back into the sidings there. Terrifically well behaved over those points. And along the platform there to a gentle stop. And then we'll close number 11 and open number 18 and number 17. We've just got the Ginty coming out of the engine shed there, approaching the turntable and smoothly on. And then we're going to rotate clockwise. Now this Ginty, model number R.52, was available from 1953 to 1975. Now this is a Hornby Railways version, so it's quite a late one. So we really are blurring the lines here between trying Hornby and Hornby Railways. We'll close number 18 there, and we'll take her forward just beyond points number 1 there. And a gentle stop. And then we're going to take her back through points number 1. And we're going to pick up one of those transporter wagons. And we're going to roll forwards, just out through the points again. Nice stop there, and then we're going to switch points number 2. And then we're going to roll back and pick up the rest of those transporter wagons. So we'll have 4 of them in total, plus the R16 brake van, another model which was around for a very long time. Look at that, smoothly through there, and then we'll close points 1 behind them. This group of models formed the basis of the R.52, the terrific Car-A-Belle train set, available between 1965 and 69, and it featured the Ginty, 2 transporter wagons and the R16 brake van. Looking really terrific coming around the curve there and up towards the turntable. In 1974, the car transporter showed up in another set, R.542, the Lord Westwood set. This had rather an unusual collection of wagons. There were also a couple of Canadian variants made of the car transporter, and these were incorporated into a number of sets for the Canadian market. Now she's making excellent steady progress here towards the incline. Just look at this, that magna adhesion really helping her effortlessly climbing up there with all of those wagons. They are rather light, it has to be said, but she's still doing a very good job. And off into the distance, all those cars looking fantastic there. Over the suspension bridge and off into the distance. Now we're going to bring her down the incline to a gentle stop, and then we'll have a swift look at the Ginty. There she goes, gently to a stop.
I've got a couple of Gintys here. This is the one I've been using on the layout today, and this is the earlier one which I had in a video recently with the crane truck R.127. But we can see this earlier one has full metal buffers, whereas this later Hornby Railways one has part of the buffer shank that's moulded into the bodywork, and you've just got the buffer end pushed straight into it. Also, where the running number is on the smoke box door has been completely blacked out, and on the earlier one we have the running number incorporated into the moulding. We can see it's got 47606 moulded into the smoke box door there. Here we can see differences again in the model. This is the Hornby Railways one. It has a smaller BR decal there than the earlier one, which has a much larger decal there. I think I prefer the earlier one. I think it's a prettier looking model, although it might not be quite as accurate or to scale. Looking from slightly above at the cabs here, look at the windows on the front of this Hornby Railways one. We can see the window details almost closed in there. Maybe this is a result of the tool beginning to wear out. So it's been in use for quite some time by this period. Look how nice and crisp they are on this earlier Trying Railways one. We've also got different safety valves here on this earlier one. They seem to have a bit more detail on them, and they've become much plainer here on the later Hornby Railways one. These are such great looking models. I'm not going to go into lots of detail with this. We've seen them in an earlier video, and I'll include a link in the description box so you can have a look at this earlier one in more detail if you'd like to. The back ends of both of these models look very similar, apart from the buffers. The earlier one has the full metal buffers, whereas the later one has part of the detail moulded into the body. We've got the Hornby Railway chassis here. We just have a look, we can just see the magnet for the magna adhesion just behind this drive wheel here. So we've got steel tied wheels. We'll just have a look underneath, and we've got 2 S's on the chassis there for synchro smoke. We've got the collection plate. We'll just have a look around. So quite a nice tidy motor, and again we can see the magnet there. The earlier model didn't have magna adhesion, she had the solid wheels, and now we've got the Triang's synchro smoke unit there. And you do have to run this model quite quickly for it to smoke. It does smoke relatively well, but you have to run it really rather quick to get that to happen. Just a swift look at the chassis from the older model there. We can clearly see solid wheels, and it does have space for magnets for the magna adhesion, but I don't believe that they were ever fitted to these earlier models. It's fitted with a Sooth type smoke unit, although I do have it disconnected. As I said earlier, I'll include a link to a video where you can see this model in a little more detail if you want to. And we've got the S on the chassis there. It just indicates a smoke unit could be fitted if one wasn't already fitted. As we saw before, the later models had SS on the bottom for synchro-smoke. So this chassis was designed prior to synchro-smoke being invented, I think. So we'll just turn that back over. I'm just looking at the inside of both bodies here briefly. So this is the newer one here. And we're looking on the inner side, it's been all sort of chopped away in there. And I believe that was done in the factory to create space for the wheel on the top of the synchro-smoke unit. If we have a look in the older one, it's just got that piece of plastic that's cut off there, where I believe that's just part of where it came off the moulding. So we'll just put this older one down and have a look at the newer one, just a swift look around it. So it's got a little bit of damage there, a little bit of decal missing, but fairly tidy. And we've got the 3F on the cab side there. Lovely steps. And it is in fairly good condition. The footplate at the front has risen slightly. I think that might be just as a result of it getting hot from the synchro-smoke unit. Just turn that around. And then we can read the name there. Clearly see that it says Hornby, R.52, and then made in England. And just looking at those buffers again, you can see that the part of the detailing is moulded into the body this time. And just the ends of the buffers are metal and just pushed back in. Let's see if we can just have a quick look at that with the older one next to it. Here we can see the difference in style there. We've got the box here for the R16 brake van. You can see it's a triangle Hornby box with a place for the price to be written there. Now these were in the catalogue for a lot of years, starting in 1953 right the way through to 1967. And the boxes got a little damage on it, but not too bad. The model has a very plain looking white plastic roof with very little detail, just pushed straight onto the brown plastic moulding there. Lovely planking detail right the way around this model. Doors on the inner walkways there. Plastic buffers moulded into this under frame here. Lots of detail to be had right the way along here. Just having a look underneath now. We can see Triang's name in there. Metal axles with the pin points. And we've got reasonably fine scale spoked plastic wheels. Nice smooth start from the Ginty there. Not too much of a wobble from all of those wagons, they look pretty good. I think a lot of play value could have been had with these. I think the colour of the cars on the wagons, that was completely random from what I've read, so you wouldn't have got one with all blue cars or all red, although that would have been quite nice. Beautiful shot there, going past the English Electric there with the Pullmans. Off into the distance. Now coming underneath the elevated section. Look at that. They really do look terrific. I think without the blue tack holding those on, they'd be jumping around all over the place and looking very untidy. And another effortless climb there from the Ginty with those wagons. Doesn't she just sound great? Now off into the distance there over the suspension bridge. We would have had to run her very, very quickly to get her to smoke. I think those wagons would have just come off into the curve there. I don't think that's really worth it. Now she descends the incline here. She's looking pretty good. Now I think I'm going to leave you this week with page 14 and 15 from the 1965 catalogue, the first year that the car transporter appeared. And if you look back again next week, we'll have something else from the later Triangle Hornby period. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye now.